Hello, guten Tag. So, in the previous video, we talked a lot about how there's so many things in life. There's so many things to smile about in life. There's so many things. What should I say? I've been stuttering now. I don't know. I'm confused. So, well, anyway, what I'm trying to say is there's so many things to smile about each day, and all we think about is just pure problems, and we think that life is just about misery and pain when it's not. It's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of how you see life, how you view life. It's a matter how you appreciate the little things that happened in your life. For example, like the sunshine, like the playground around, or just like this, like having the time to just experience this little things in life. And I don't know what I'm saying now, but because right now I've been reading an article that I published last year, and it's about just because you have a dark past doesn't mean you will not have a bright future. So yeah, like I know I've been sharing a lot about my life in this channel, and because of that I'm so grateful for everything, for the time, for listening to me, and for listening to my woes and to my rumblings, my random thoughts and feelings. And it helps me to see myself speaking out loud, and by speaking out loud, it helps me realize what I've been carrying all my life, or all these thoughts that I've never, I won't ever think of if I will not be speaking it out loud. There are times the more I'm talking with you, the more I'm talking on camera, for example, the more I kind of feel comfortable just speaking out loud, just speaking out my thoughts, because it's so alien to me. Just talking my thoughts out loud is so alienating to me, to the point I feel so comfortable with just shutting off. It's easy for me to just isolate myself and not share anything about my life, what I like, what I dislike, what my thoughts are, what my feelings are, thinking just shutting off will keep the harmony. I once thought that just by shutting up, or just by closing my mouth, will keep the harmony, and without realizing that by choosing to keep the harmony, I'm destroying myself. So, and because of that, it's also one way for me to move forward in a way where I will not allow my fear and trauma to rule over my life. Just speaking in front of the camera and draw enough courage from myself to decide on things that I like to do in a day requires me a lot of courage already, because I'm not used to having the full decision or having control of my decisions. Because back then it was I didn't have the power to decide over my life, or everything was dictated. Everything was just, okay, this is what you do, this is what you shouldn't do. So I wasn't able to exercise how it is to decide for yourself, to decide what you like as a kid, or what you don't like. And because of that, now that I'm an adult, it's like reparenting myself, telling myself that it's okay if you can't choose now. It's okay if you like this and the others don't. Or it's okay if you will be disagreeable, because anyway you can't please everyone. It took me, I really have to be at this point where I have to years of reparenting myself, because I don't want to say that I have bad parents, because they're just being parents, and I don't want to say I have bad parents and all. But it's hard when you have emotionally insecure parents trying to be parent. If it's something that you can understand, it's really like that. And I don't know it's really so difficult if you grew up in an environment where your your free speech was already taken away from you, and the moment you have the power to speak, the moment you have the power to speak your heart and soul, you feel so guilty because you think like, oh my gosh, you have a bad household, and you don't want to label it as a bad household because that's where you grew up. But at the same time, you can't ignore all these little whispers in your heart trying to speak out loud, and now it's showing up in my work. Like, no matter how much I deny, and no matter how much I try to reconstruct the history, what my fingers type, what my unconscious or subconscious are trying to release as a baggage, as emotional baggage, it reveals them all. It's like my conscious brain is like, wait, I thought I'm recovered, or I thought I've healed from this. Then why is it so painful for me to write this? Why is it still so, like, I find it hard to talk about it? Why it still feels so bad when things have already been in the past? Or I thought this is all in the past, but it's actually affecting me still in my adult years. And imagine I'm already in my 30s right now, but I'm still reacting like an 8-year-old. Or my reactions are still going back to my 12 years old. And it's like being a kid again, but in an adult body. And trying to reparent myself in a way where no one has done it. Because it's like I'm a lost kid, and and the adult me is trying to reparent that lost kid. And now the lost kid has the opportunity to release everything, because now the adult me has given the child the opportunity to release all of that in a form of a publishing company, because the adult me has provided all these, I should say, amenities. It's like a hotel, like all these amenities. Now it's up for the inner child to play around and to release it. So, but because there are two forces working on inside my body, it's really hard to just, to just acknowledge it and act and pretend as if they're not there. And I don't know if this is something that you could resonate with, but this is what I'm experiencing right now. Like, I know I've been doing this for 1,000 times. I've been writing books for years. I have tried writing fiction since back then in my Wattpad days, but I still feel like, I don't know, I still feel like there's so much more that meets the eye. There's so much more that I can tell. There's so much more going on underneath me without me knowing it. And I just know it by the time that I talk with you, or I write the chapters, or when I do the journal. So, and yeah, all of these things are under, like shadow work. So you could say that Strokes of Desire #1 is a byproduct of shadow work, and the rest of the Cult of Error series is a byproduct of shadow work. And even going back to The Rival and My Name is Pepper, all of this, all of the books, I could say, all of the books that I have published and written and published, all of them have been outcomes of my shadow work, because otherwise I wouldn't have written them. I wouldn't have the inspiration to write them without all this work of trying to pop the bubble that caused a lot of pain and misery in my family. And because of living that legacy building, because I chose to live in this path no one has ever taken. So it's kind of like a surreal feeling now, because it's like the adult me is finally giving the inner child a chance to make herself known. And by letting herself known, that means the adult me has to accept the fact that the inner child wants to talk. And probably you're hearing her now. Maybe this is the inner child trying to talk with you. It's my soul and heart, my heart and soul trying to talk to you, trying to speak with you, trying to share my things and all of this world that I have, like my books and how I process this shadow work, how I process things, how I think about things. Like just having this freedom and play is like a pleasure that I feel guilty. This is like the little things. It's not like the kind of pleasure everyone knows, like like, the dark pleasures. It's not about that. Even giving myself the pleasure to just play around and just bask myself under the warmth of the sun's embrace, just the little things like this makes me feel guilty, because like everyone is doing their job, everyone is so busy while I'm here just sitting around here. And what I'm doing, I'm an adult, I should be doing something else. I should be busy, I should be my life should be hectic, because like people in my age 30s, they should be busy driving around, going here and there for their job. And I don't know, but I don't want that kind of life. don't have that life. So it's a different life. And because of that, it's not like the reason that it's not a big deal. I don't want my dysfunctionality the reason for my sadness and melancholy, because I already spent most of my life in melancholy. So I don't want to spend the rest of my life being in melancholy. Like I want my melancholy to be something that sparks magic. I don't want that melancholy that destroys my soul. So if that's how I overcame my fear of blank page whenever I write stories. And maybe like in the previous video, I talked about like you will never reach or achieve whatever you like to achieve if you don't know, or if you don't like to look back to where you came from, or to look back where you came from. And the same thing, if I won't look back at the things, the memories, the painful experiences, like all of these things happened to me that makes me who I am, I will never know what direction I like to take. I will never know what kind of life I try to imagine if I can't look back. If I chose not to look back on the painful chapters in my life, if I chose not to allow my darkest sides of me to be known and acknowledged, and like be the source of my inspiration for my art, then I will never know which path to take. I will never know what kind of future I like to have. I will never know everything that I like to have, because like if I deny that I was a victim, then I will never know how to be a hero. I will never know how to step up and get my feet on the ground, try to fight against my demons. If I will not acknowledge demons sleeping inside me, then how will I know to navigate my life in a way that I like to live my life? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but like that's how it is. If you don't like to acknowledge everything about you, then you will never know what kind of car you are. You will never know what kind of. If you don't like to study your car, you just keep on wishing, okay, I like to move forward in life, but you don't know what kind of tires you have. You don't know what kind of bremsing, or like you need some overhauling maybe, but you don't want to acknowledge that part of yourself, because you only acknowledge, okay, I have a car, I have a car, I can drive, I know directions, I know the GPS is there, but you don't like to acknowledge what's really beneath the car and see if it's really running properly. And yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking. And it's really raw, and I don't want my vlogs to be scripted. I like to be just like something so freestyle, because like everything in my life is so scripted. Like most of like the first quarter of my life was scripted. I lived up to the expectations of being a perfect daughter. So I like to spend the next chapters of my life to be in a free state, in a free flow. And if I like to say something, it should be freestyle. And if I like to do something, it should be like free flowing. If I like to write the chapter, then it should be like there's no like force trying to block me, because like I would know that there's a force, because that's ego playing out. Okay, you will know that this is ego playing out because it will try to stop you from doing what you love. Your ego will try to block you in a form of fear, anxiety, in a form of fear-mongering, in a form of unconsciously drawing the wrong people in your life, like things like that. you're the one attracting these people around your life. And it's up to you to repel against them by repairing yourself or not, or just let it be a dried leaf in the wind. I don't want to be like a dried leaf in the wind. Like, oh my gosh, it's like injustice. It's injustice to my inner child. Because this is my second life, and now I will want to spend the rest of my life berating myself again, living myself again in a way that I know because I think this is safe and comfortable, because this is what I know, knowing that there's out there that's better for me, knowing that there's out there like the path that I haven't taken, just by listening to my heart and soul wherever it goes, wherever they like to lead me. So I don't know, like, I don't know if this is something that you like to hear today, but this is what I've been feeling to say, and like feel like it feels like it's the right thing to say today. And yeah, just enjoy life, just enjoy the flow of life. And even if you're dysfunctional, if you think that you're dysfunctional and you can't fit in, then who cares if you can't fit in? Who cares if you're an outcast? Even the cats don't care. Like the cats don't care. Like, just look at them. They don't care. Look at the animals. Like, that's pure barbaric ego you could see there. So in the wild, it's like, yeah, this is really pure ego playing out. And the one, like, because we're too domesticated, I guess, that we just get lost in life, thinking that others control our life, when we have full control of our lives. We have the free will to change things. But it's our decision to change things. It is in our hands to change and be the change that you want. Okay, so yeah, that's what I've been thinking. So I hope this resonates with you, my friend, and I love you very much. And yeah, if you're enjoying the sun right now, like, yeah, let's enjoy the life that we have right now, even in crisis, because why not? So see you in the next one. I love you very much. See you in the next one again, and yeah, cheers.